Hello everybody and welcome back to another video for the day. We are heading back into r/AmITheDevil because for some reason people do horrible things and they're the only one in the room that don't happen to realize it. So if you guys would love to be absolutely amazing, show your support and see more videos like this one in the near future, be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment down below to start up the wholesome internet discussions, and if you guys have not already, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notifications. Also, if you guys would love to save at 10% with GamerSupps, use code Tommy at checkout or use the link down below. Am I the a-hole for wanting my wife to not leave for 13 weeks? Hey Reddit, I could really use some advice. I've been married to my wife, 26F, for 3 years now, and we've always had a good relationship. I'm 27M, an accountant, and she is a travel nurse. So we've dealt with short separations before, but nothing like this. She recently accepted a 13-week contract a few states away, making $3,046 a week. I get that the money is great, and she's super excited about it, but I'm not. I've told her I'm nervous about the distance. It's 3 months. After all, but what really is getting to me is how this is going to affect our physical relationship. We have a very active sheet life, and I know I have needs that are going to be tough to ignore for that long. To be totally honest, I'm worried about what 3 months apart is going to do to both of us lewdly. I know we could try to visit each other on the weekends, but that's not guaranteed. And it's not the same as being together every night. I'm not just talking about the lewd stuff either. There's a level of closeness and intimacy that we share in bed, and the idea of going without that for weeks on end is making me anxious. She is a very attractive woman, and I can't help but feel insecure about the fact that she'll be out there, meeting new people in a new environment. I trust her, but I also know how people are. She'll be working long hours with new coworkers, possibly going out to socialize, and those thoughts creep into my head. What if she meets someone? What if the distance drives a wedge between us? On top of that, I'm worried about myself too. I don't want to put myself in a situation where I'm tempted or lonely to a point where I do something stupid. I love her and would never want to hurt her, but 13 weeks feels like a long time to go without physical connection. Off of that last paragraph, you got me thinking that you're the one that's more likely to cheat in the relationship than her. She has always been understanding, but when I brought up my concerns about the physical side of things, I don't really think she gets how serious it feels to me. She is excited for the opportunity and thinks that we'll be fine because we are solid as a couple. And maybe we are, but the lewd stuff is important in our relationship, and I'm scared that this long separation is going to create a strain that we might not be prepared for. I know couples who have fallen apart over things like this, and I don't want us to be one of them. Has anyone else been in a similar situation where their partner took a long-time job away from home? How do you handle the physical distance and the needs that come with it? Is it unrealistic to think that we can maintain that connection while she's away? I don't want to sound selfish. Oh, don't worry, you're already doing a fantastic job on being selfish, so you're already good. But I also don't want to pretend like that isn't a big deal for me. Ah, yes, because now we're having to weigh a couple of things into factoring here, as, I don't get to do the under-the-sheet shuffle while my wife is away. Here's the thing, though, she's earning about $3,100 a week. I think you can live without doing the hanky-panky for that 3 months. You should be frickin' fine. If you have that high of a libido, I don't think you need to be in a relationship because, like I said before, the way you described everything, it sounds like you're the one who's more likely to cheat than her. Which we already know for a fact is more likely to happen because of that whole, I want to make sure I don't do anything stupid basically just translates to, we do the hanky-panky with each other, or else I will find somebody. Yeah, great one, dingus. Would I be the a-hole if I asked my son to take more responsibility? My son finally came back from the psych ward. According to his doctor, he was close to severe burnout. The whole situation was incredibly stressful, and it brought back terrible memories of the stunts his mother used to pull. The whole "I'm having a breakdown" act, it was right out of her playbook. He just up and left the kids, which is exactly what he constantly complains that I did. While he was gone, the kids seemed happier. There was no stress over food, homework, chores, or anything like that. They were finally having fun, just being kids without the weight of the mood hanging over them. Then, when Nick came back, he spent his first days sleeping. He didn't make dinner, he didn't say hi to the kids, didn't do anything. He ordered lunch and dinner for himself, but didn't bother to get any for me or his siblings. Then, on Tuesday, he started yelling at me about not taking care of his grandmother the way he normally does. Nick usually takes her for walks, feeds her, handles her medication, and bathes her, but I had no idea she was in bad shape. When I tried to explain, it turned into another fight. His younger siblings came downstairs, and thankfully, they came to my defense. Regrettably, I told him, "See? The kids are happier under my care. You keep calling me incompetent, but it's clear they like me better. They are my kids." He just sighed and said, "You know what? I'm done. You say that the kids are happier without me? You think you can handle it all? Fine, handle it. I'm too young for this stuff. Have fun. And by the way, I was your kid too." Ever since then, he has abandoned the kids again. He still lives in the house, but doesn't do anything. For example, the other day, I forgot to pick up the groceries for breakfast. The kids had to eat toast with butter, and all they did was complain. Meanwhile, Nick just sat there on the couch, drinking his coffee, saying, "I normally do the grocery shopping on Sundays," and walked away smugly. Or the other day, he was taking a bubble bath, but one of my sons, M13, needed his laundry done. Nick just said, "You can ask your dad," and went back to his bath. He won't help with the kids' homework, and the only chores he does are cleaning up after himself when he cooks or uses a plate. He only helps Cole, M17. Nick isn't acting like himself. On Saturday, he came home after hours of being gone, not answering his phone. He stumbled in, drunk, with two friends practically carrying him. They didn't even apologize. They just dropped him on the couch. I didn't even know that he had close friends. He's been completely irresponsible. He doesn't do anything around the house, and it's starting to fall apart. The kids don't listen to me, and it's all so overwhelming. He doesn't even take care of his grandmother anymore. How do I talk to him about taking more responsibility? I feel like I'm drowning. Even my girlfriend feels overwhelmed. So let me get this straight. They actually went to a place that is supposed to help with your psych. They came back, and you thought that they were just lying as some kind of excuse, saying that burnout exists, and you for some reason didn't believe it because, God forbid, you happen to be able to tolerate these tasks and everything. Oh, and on top of that, you told them that the kids were happier while they were gone, so yeah, everybody loves hearing that. That's absolutely wonderful. So what they did, they very much gave you what you were asking for, and you know what? You had a bit of a bad time, and now you're trying to undo it. Great frickin' job there. You trying to have your cake and eating it too? Have fun with that. Am I an a-hole for telling my mother to stop contacting my ex-wife? I'll start with a bit of background. I have been divorced for over 2 years and have a 5-year-old daughter that lives with her mother, my ex-wife. Until recently, I have dealt with my ex-wife's manipulative, narcissistic, and emotionally bad behavior, because it's what I was used to for our 9-year marriage. I've had friends and family, including my mother, who all tried to get me to see it during that time. But it took my current girlfriend, who will eventually be my wife, to help me truly understand my ex-wife's behavior, because she used to deal with it too. I basically set boundaries with my ex-wife that we aren't friends. I don't want to be friends. I'm tired of her going between wanting to be friends and then wanting nothing to do with me when she's upset, and that we will only communicate regarding our daughter through text messages. I've been very proud of myself for keeping that up, and I've seen improvements already. Once my ex knows I'm not dealing with her behavior, when she tries to start a conversation, she does nothing. Fast forward to the recent Hurricane Helene, I have no idea how to pronounce that name. My daughter's area was heavily affected because they live in one of the hardest hit areas. I've already checked and my daughter is safe, has shelter, has food, and has water. They are without power or cell service, but those aren't necessary for survival. Keeping my boundaries, that is all I've checked on and been concerned about. Now, my mother was basically responded like old pals every time my ex has reached out to her, and I keep telling her to stop. We know my daughter/her granddaughter is safe and has all of the essentials until things are restored. I think my mother inquiring about anything else sends the wrong message. My ex will think those inquiries are coming from me, and I don't care about anything else other than my daughter, who I know is safe. I check on her every few days, since I know they only have cell service in town. Am I the a-hole for yelling at my mom to stop contacting her? I don't want any of the progress I've made to be reversed because my mother feels the need to constantly contact my ex-wife. Edit. Some of the comments have caused me to think I was unclear about the things, so I wanted just to clarify. 1. I don't care about my mother checking in on her granddaughter. I only care about them having regular conversations that might cause my ex to think that I still care about her/want to get back together. 2. I didn't actually yell at my mother. It was just a conversation over text messages. 3. Everyone seems to think that I did the bare minimum for my daughter. It wasn't important for the initial post, but I offered to come get her until things were resolved, and my mother said that it wasn't necessary. We live 600 plus miles apart, so it's not like she was down the road. I checked and said, okay, not my problem, and then went on with my life. Edit 2. Thank you for the constructive criticism. I realized I was the a-hole, so I apologized to my mother. Some of the comments called me manipulative and I definitely don't want that. So I expressed my concerns to her and let her make her own decisions. Yes, big hurricane comes down and, homes are destroyed, people are dead and everything. But really the only thing you give a darn about is making sure that your daughter is fine. Screw the person that she happened to have been staying with. They can just kick up and die for all I care. Yeah, congrats having that type of vibe, dummy. There's a lot of people that I don't like, but, I wouldn't wish that they were very much just what it is kind of situation if they had to go through something bad. My boyfriend threatened to break up with me on a Harry Potter marathon night that I planned because he was embarrassed and would rather drink at the club. 32M29F. Yesterday was his birthday. We both are Harry Potter fans, but I'm more into it. And he likes golfing and cars more than I do. Yesterday morning, I asked him if he wanted to go out somewhere. And I told him that I'm planning on a surprise tonight. He didn't ask anything further and left for work. During the evening, I had set the sofas, spread the blankets, arranged the coffee tables, fluffed all of the pillows, warmed up the place. I made pizza at home for the first time and made smoothies. I brought all kinds of sweets and made many Harry Potter-like candles with them. I got this idea from those reels and had always told him I wanted to try it out. He didn't see my message until around 9:30 and arrived at 10. I didn't mind it much, but I told him that I had everything prepared and that we could snuggle up and watch together. He told me he was tired and didn't want to do it. So I tried re-questioning him to sit with me at least for one movie. He somehow agreed. He ate the pizza, but didn't try any of those mini candied structures that I made. And when we were more comfortable enough, The broomsticks scene comes on, and I tell him how I used to crush on Draco as a kid. He suddenly got up from there, and I nearly hit my head on the sofa board. He told me I was embarrassed to still be obsessing over Harry Potter as an adult, that his friends' girlfriends are more mature than me, and are actually planning their lives ahead. I didn't know how me liking this related to that, because I barely talked to him about Harry Potter much before. He just walked away after that, and I let him. Because when I didn't come back to sleep, he tells me I have horrible taste for even crushing on Tom Felton, and that he looks like a sulking cow now. What hurts me most is that he didn't even taste the sweets that I had made, or even lie down with me for at least an hour. I would have been okay to even change the movie or shut it down when I tried suggesting, but he just kept shaking his head. He told me to fix my ways before he gets fed up and leaves me for good, and that he left a real good offer of drinking at a bar with his friends. It's morning, and I haven't talked to him yet. He just left without even looking at me. I might be at fault here for not taking his interest into much consideration. I just thought we would like it because I would show him stuff that he always admired and such. I feel kinda hurt. The pizza I made was also his favorite, but he didn't seem to show much for it. I don't know, I may be overreacting. I don't know if it's right for me to love this series anymore. It had been a part of my childhood and I grew up with it. We have been together for 3 years now. TLDR, my boyfriend of 3 years ruined movie marathon night, and I feel hurt. You know, the way that the 97% of the rest of the story was labeled really doesn't, bring into light the fact that the first thing mentioned was that it was his birthday. Kind of seems like you just wanted to use his birthday as an excuse to put together some kind of movie night, and didn't really consider what type of movie that your boyfriend would actually want to watch. It's definitely cool to have those little themed dinner, date night kind of things, but if it's somebody's birthday, it might be good to ask, hey, I want to do something special. What's your favorite movie series? That might have been something good to ask, and, do something based around that. Oh yeah, and way to go nailing it out of the park with the TLDR. My boyfriend of 3 years ruined movie marathon night. No, that was very much you wanting to do something for his birthday, but you forgot to factor in that it was his birthday. I, 30M, and an interior relationship with a woman, 29F, that I was never attracted to. This started about 1 year after I broke up with my ex-girlfriend after she cheated on me. I was scared to approach other girls as I was afraid that they would do the same to me. Pretty logical. I was sad and lonely. I had always been an insecure person with low self-esteem. This is in no way an excuse, but I just wanted to lay out my mental state at the time. Then, she came into my life. She was a junior at my office. We met through a common friend and started talking. She showed interest in me from the get-go. She was the one who initiated most of the conversations. She also flirted with me, to which I replied politely. Eventually, she admitted that she liked me. I have no idea what she saw in me. I wasn't attracted to her, unfortunately, so I rejected her, saying that I just got out of a relationship and I'm not looking for one right now. But she took it in a different way. Sometime later, when we were hanging out alone, she surprised me with a romantic gift. I was taken aback by this. It was at this point in my life that I made one of the biggest mistakes of my life. I kissed her. Whether it was due to loneliness, or just sheer feeling of being loved, or just plain horniness, I don't know, but I did. After that, we became a couple. She, of course, was very happy. I was, however, feeling very guilty for what I did. I thought about breaking up multiple times during our relationship, but wasn't able to do so. Sometimes there were some engagements. Her father also died during this time, so it didn't feel like it was the right time. Ultimately, I just didn't have the courage to leave such a wonderful woman. And now coming to the present, here I am, still in a relationship. I am not happy, and I don't even remember the last time when I was not depressed. She is an angel, and I am doing this for her. She is everything that I want in a girl, except the looks for me. If only I was attracted to her, my life would be set. I can't break up with her because I don't want to break her heart. I won't be able to see her cry. I also don't think any other girl would be interested in me, nor should they be. I am weak, but she deserved to be with someone who loves her as much as she loves him. I can't be with her as I am not attracted to her. I feel guilty being attracted to other women to the point that I don't even look at them now. I don't know what I'm going to do. What I do know is that whichever option I choose, I'm going to regret it later. TLDR, I'm in a relationship with a woman that I'm not attracted to, and I don't know what I'm going to do next. I'd say, if anything, if this post is in fact legit real, because some of the people in the comments were stating that there are people going around posting fake stories, if this is actually real, then I'd probably say sitting down and talking to her about this kind of what was going on in your head deal, that could probably be something good, because that way you're able to come to some kind of common ground on how you see each other. Am I the a-hole? D&D Edition 2024. Hey look, we rolling for stupid today. I, 32M, am part of a D&D group created by my friend of 5 years and his work colleagues, of whom I've not met in person. My friend of 5 years, of whom I spoke, is the DM, Dungeon Master of the group. Basically, he has full say over what is allowed and is not allowed within the fantasy setting our characters are in. Anyways, about 2 months ago, I was invited by my buddy to join the campaign as they were struggling for consistent players, and I wanted to play, so I joined. My buddy is 33, and his work colleagues vary in age, but from what I understand, they're generally younger, early to mid-20s. It's a mixed group of men and women and varying personalities, so good for D&D. A few sessions ago, I did something kind of bold which landed most of the party, including myself, in hot water, resulting in the group being fined, save for one individual who made off like a cockroach. The following sesh, I had a poor day leading up to it and was frustrated and in a bad mood due to outside factors. I behaved poorly when things didn't go my way and got a bit argumentative. Before rage quitting for the evening, the following session I apologized for my behavior. The group was forgiving and life carried on. But I had noticed that one of the members, named Kyle, who already seemed to not like me, since then has been making passive-aggressive remarks in-game about my character, and has gone out of his way to stifle when I'm trying to RP as my character, finally leading to tonight's session. Did the most overtly aggressive thing to my character. My character, a warlock, has an ability to hide in a magical item, like a genie. When I chose to do that and hang out with the item, while we were traveling in the cart, this person immediately piped up that their character then picked up my item that my character retreated into and threw it into the woods, completely unprovoked. This guy, IRL, is probably his early to mid-20s and plays the game like he's the main character and the leader of the group, and makes 90% of the decisions of the group. I came into this game with the attitude of, it's their game, I'm just the side character, or reoccurring character for now, and I figured I'd be more vocal, the more established my character became, and the more of an asset I was to the group. This group of people, while mostly friendly, aren't tactile thinkers, so I've felt a bit more inclined to try and give advice to them when I feel it's needed to help them out. I've always had more of a lead rather than a follow mindset, thanks to my dad when I was growing up. It's something he used to preach to me. Anyway, I just about called Kyle out over Discord when he announced doing that to my character for no reason. I'm still debating calling him out for his antics. Would that make me an a-hole to do so? But with that is going to have to be it with the video. If you guys would love to be absolutely amazing, show your support, and see more videos like this one in the near future, be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment down below to start up them wholesome internet discussions, and if you guys have not already, subscribe to the channel and turn on them notifications. And I'll be sure to see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and bye-bye!